Thank you, Chairman, and the member of the committee. I think I'll just stick to where it is relevant to me. Chairman, on question 1, I think Nairobi, we don't collect more than 10 billion, as the question has raised here. The revenue has dropped. I think 2018, 2019, we've collected close to 8 billion. I was privileged to be in the earlier assembly from 2013 to 2017. I was also the minority leader by then. And Bwana Chair, if you can remember, for the last 5 years, from 2013 to 2017, you have never witnessed any chaos or any disagreement in the assembly, save for one time when the members brought the impeachment motion against the Governor Kidero, former Kidero. So there was no chaos whatsoever in that 5 years. This year, we have a big problem. And the problem is the head. When you have a problem in your head, you don't expect the body to be okay. The problem you're having in Nairobi County is the governor himself. Head of the institution. I'm just using an analogy of human body. Yeah. When your head has a problem, automatically the body has a problem. The problem in this institution of Nairobi County is the governor himself. You can see now the revenue has dropped from close to 11-point-something billion to 7-point-something billion. That tells you there's a big problem. And we can see him saying that the revenue has increased, but factual. When you go to the report of control of budget, to the report of Auditor General, to the report of Commission of Revenue Allocation, you will see the revenue in Nairobi County has drastically dropped.
What's the amount now?
7.8 billion from 11-point-something billion. It shows you there is a big problem in that institution. The chaos now you are witnessing in the assembly is a well choreographed chaos, so that the assembly will concentrate with infightings so that we cannot oversight the executive. My problem started with the governor when I said, when the house, when there was collapse of house in Dagoretti, the school one, he sacked more than 16 employees who were not directly related to the incident. I asked the majority leader because I saw it is within my mandate to ask those questions. Why were people sacked, interdicted without following the laid down procedures? Then he went basak. You as a minority leader, you cannot talk to the governor on media. I told him I can. As a majority leader, yeah. What words am I using? Let me withdraw that word. Let me withdraw that word. But he was not happy with my statements or comments. But it was within my mandate as an MCA for Matopedi Spring Valley Ward, and also the majority leader to question that. Since then, things started changing. Elachi was brought back with goons, with more than 1,000 goons that day when Elachi was coming back. And she was having a court order to come back to the assembly, which she didn't. Yeah. Still, I can't recognize her as my speaker, Bwana Chair, with all due respect. With all due respect, Bwana Chair, but with all due respect. As I stand here, I don't still believe Elachi is my speaker. Who is your speaker? I don't have a speaker. Okay. As per now. Okay. So since when the goon was brought to the house, things never went back to normal, up to today. They wanted to remove me from the majority leader. They cannot call for PG of Jubilee because they don't have numbers. They tried all means of removing me, but it became difficult. Governor was calling people to his office at Upper Hill, making sure that people sign petition to remove me. But up to today, they have not gotten the requisite signatures to remove me from that office. That's the reason why they went to the party, the SG, which is against the standing orders and against the Constitution of Jubilee Article 19. Even when the Jubilee Party want to remove me, they need to use Article 19 of the Constitution of Jubilee, where the SG calls for the party caucus. And the election is done there. That is the matter for another day. When you come to the measures we put to investigate claims that taxpayers' money has been used by the county leadership on dubious travels. The dubious travels, Bwana Chair, which I know, are the travels which and the member of the committee, I think I'll just stick to where it is relevant to me. Chairman, on question 1, I think Nairobi, we don't collect more than 10 billion as the question has raised here. The revenue has dropped. I think 2018, 2019, we've collected close to 8 billion. I was privileged to be in the earlier assembly from 2013 to 2017. I was also the minority leader by then. And Bwana Chair, if you can remember, for the last 5 years, from 2013 to 2017, you have never witnessed any chaos or any disagreement in the assembly, save for one time when the members brought the impeachment motion against the Governor Kidero, former Kidero. So there was no chaos whatsoever in that 5 years. This year, we have a big problem. And the problem is the head. When you have a problem in your head, you don't expect the body to be okay. The problem you're having in Nairobi County is the governor himself. Head of the institution. I'm just using an analogy of human body. Yeah. When your head has a problem, automatically the body has a problem. The problem in this institution of Nairobi County is the governor himself. You can see now the revenue has dropped from close to 11-point-something billion to 7-point-something billion. That tells you there's a big problem. And we can see him saying that the revenue has increased, but factual. When you go to the report of control of budget, to the report of Auditor General, to the report of Commission of Revenue Allocation, you will see the revenue in Nairobi County has drastically dropped.
What's the amount now?
7.8 billion from 11-point-something billion. It shows you there is a big problem in that institution. The chaos now you are witnessing in the assembly is a well choreographed chaos, so that the assembly will concentrate with infightings so that we cannot oversight the executive. My problem started with the governor when I said, when the house, when there was collapse of house in Dagoretti, the school one, he sacked more than 16 employees who were not directly related to the incident. I asked the majority leader because I saw it is within my mandate to ask those questions. Why were people sacked, interdicted without following the laid down procedures? Then he went basak. You as a majority leader, you cannot talk to the governor on media. I told him I can't. As a majority leader, yeah. What words am I using? Let me withdraw that word. Let me withdraw that word. But he was not happy with my statements or comments. But it was within my mandate as an MCA for Matopedi Spring Valley Ward, and also the majority leader to question that. Since then, things started changing. Elachi was brought back with goons, with more than 1,000 goons that day when Elachi was coming back. And she was having a court order to come back to the assembly, which he didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Still, I can't recognize her as my speaker, Bwana Chair, with all due respect. No, with all due respect, Bwana Chair, but with all due respect. As I stand here, I don't still believe Elachi is my speaker. You know,
who is your speaker?
I don't have a speaker.
Oh, okay.
As per now.
Okay.
So since when the gun was brought to the house, things never went back to normal up to today. They wanted to remove me from the majority leader. They cannot call for PG of Jubilee because they don't have numbers. They tried all means of removing me, but it became difficult. The governor was calling people to his office at Apile, making sure that people sign petition to remove me. But up to today, they have not gotten the requisite signatures to remove me from that office. That's the reason why they went to the party, the SG, which is against the standing orders and against the Constitution of Jubilee Article 19. Even when the Jubilee Party want to remove me, they need to use Article 19 of the Constitution of Jubilee, where the SG calls for the party caucus. And the election is done there. That is the matter for another day. When you come to the measures we put to investigate claims that taxpayers' money has been used by the county leadership on dubious travel. The dubious travels, Bwana Chair, which I know, are the travels which Yes, you know, Bwana Chair, as a county assembly, we've done our part.
Yes.
We've also recommended further investigation by
to EACC.
To EACC and DCI.
Yes.
PAC did that.
Can you maybe estimate the reports that you have referred to the EACC to interview?
Many of them.
Like a number?
For example, give example of Stadia.
Stadia.
Let me give you an example of Stadia. We budgeted for 1 point.
Which Stadia, please?
We have 4 Stadia, one in Dandora, other one in Woodley, other one in Karioko. It is 4 Stadia. And Kagemi. The only one which now is almost complete is that of Dandora. The BQ was 250 million. The variation was done to 350 million. And you know you cannot do a variation of more than 20 what? 25%.
Yeah.
That is more than 50%. The engineers refused to accede to that document. The procurement people refused. So they elevated the matter to PPORI, so that the PPORI can give them the clean what? Bill. But instead of giving them the clean bill, it gives them a damning report on the same and ask the investigating agency to take the same one. Because after the engineers refused to alter the document, they tabled the document in the CEC, the cabinet, which was not held in the first place, because the people are saying even the minister of the cabinet is fake. And the Constitution and the County Government Act says the CEC meeting can be only chaired by the governor or the deputy governor. In our scenario, we don't have a deputy governor. So the buck stops with the governor himself.
Yes.
So he's the one who altered the document from 250 million to 350 million. And the BQ was saying the stadium will be built through a concrete. They moved from the concrete, they went to steel. And they already hiked the money from 250 to 300. And that can
is it per stadium or the entire
per stadium? That can show you how much money has been pilfered there in one stadium. And when you talk about it, goods are being set on you. But I've said I'm ready
yes.
for goods to be set on me.
But you're talking about, there's something you said about you're talking about cashews.
I hope they are not outside there.
You're talking about cashews. There's something.
The only project.
There's no road.
The only project which has been undertaken in my ward
yes.
is one tarmac road, which was in financial year 2017-2018. It is not even in this financial year. 2017, 2018. And you can take the budget from Nairobi County to see it for yourself. There is no other project in my world. Well, the problem with some MCAs are talking out of ignorance, and some of them have been given petty cash to talk what they are talking. But if you go to the budget itself and scrutinize it,
Yes.
my ward has no more than 10 million this financial year. And Bwana Chair, you can ask that budget because it's a public report.
Yes,
documents to verify that. And the projects, you are a senator. You know how these things are done. It is not done by the leader of majority in the Senate or the leader of majority. It is between the sectoral committees and the line department, ministries. I don't know where majority that comes in these things.
Okay.
Unless somebody is talking out of ignorance. Yeah.
So on the issue of interventions that you, when you are the leader of majority, you have put in as a Nairobi County Assembly to stop some of this loss of money that you have been talking of Nairobi, and then on that point, you are accused with the leadership that you are in, that in foreign travels you are favoring, you are using it as a stick and carrot, as a to reward your cronies or people who pledge loyalty to you. And even they have gone ahead that there was a situation where some of your cronies, they were just calling their wives when at arrivals and going back through departures to get the change of plot, not anything else.
Okay, maybe I ride also on that. Maybe I'm going to understand the county assembly leader.
Yes.
In your committee, is it the majority leader who gives tips, or is it
that's tie up.
The speaker? Okay, because in
What
the Senate
is
is different. If I'm in fact, then I go through PAC. If I'm delegate, yes. Unless speaker has slots for especially the women conference, the youth conference, then we go through the speaker. I don't know, in the Senate, our majority leader doesn't give trips. I don't know how
is it chairman.
We have two scenarios in the country. Moved me 1 year ago. With the fight of the governor dishing money left right to my members to remove me, and they still didn't remove me, that shows you I'm a very straightforward person. I don't know.
So you are not aware of such?
No.
Majority leader, there is an allegation that you engineered her impeachment. Through impressed, telling members, misleading members, and blackmailing them, telling them that if you don't impeach her, she has already gone to EACC
to report
this matter, and you guys, if you don't move swiftly, DCI will deal with you. So that's the reason why, even when we looked, it was 90%, it was 99% of members of county assembly voted to her impeachment. Is that for?
But Chair, even now, if it were not the intervention of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and some quotas in Jubilee, I can assure you, election could not be still in that office. Right now, people are coerced by their party leaders, not because they want election. Well, that's the difference. People voted how 99%.
Without coercion,
how can you coerce somebody who has been elected for 5 terms? Tell me. We have Paul Kadoshi, I think you know him.
Yes.
He was elected since 2002. How can you coerce that person? How can you try to fool that person with issue of DCI or any other person? How can you do that? It is not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible. So that is just a wild allegation from election. Wild allegation.
But I'm still on you on the. You have given us how the country has been losing billions.
And the same people who are used to unleash terror on people. Because they are already available because they earn money.
You did finish. There's a statement you're saying somebody, Benson Mwangi,
was
raised an issue
and he was
in I think in the floor of the house.
What I said.
Then I think terror was understandable.
You
did finish that.
What I said, Benson, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, asked statement. In fact, 3 statements. One was about the cashier. He wanted to know how many cashiers were employed, for how long, and how much they were paid. And their contractual terms should be provided to the assembly. This made some people not to sleep.
So so they attacked him.
Just to add on that, I received a phone call later in the night. We've been threatened. Wewe wache maneno kama uwachi tabiri na wewe. Said we're just doing oversight responsibility of that.
So the problem which you are seeing in the Nairobi County Assembly is being orchestrated by one Mike Movie Sonko for one reason.
Yes.
To make sure that we get busy fighting ourselves. Me, I'm ready even to relinquish my post to do, and we focus on doing our oversight because we don't want to be derailed by one person. Confusing us, we fight among ourselves, and we leave him to steal public resources. Me, I'm asking you to call us. Me, I'll not stand for majority. I'm not interested in majority anymore.
Okay.
This Guyo is my friend. I'll support him. If anyone is standing against him. If he loses, we will support the one
who wins.
But we make sure that our house is
in order.
It speaks with one word.
Voice.
We are not going to allow this confusion which is being orchestrated from...
Though you have been given, you're on the floor, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. I was just taking down things here what my friend is saying.
Yes.
So that I might use them to either support or not support him. There are some few non-truths, a few half-truths, and others that I don't want to name for now.
Yes.
All I want is that I have misunderstood this setting. But according to what I've heard, in the little time that I'm here, is that the Honorable Guyo is raising issues that he would like the Senate to address through this committee, which is completely okay, because it is the Senate committee on devolution, I believe. So I wouldn't want to go into this. All I would want to know is that if we, the Assembly, because it has been mentioned, the issue of the Speaker and the travel and the Governor, because the Governor is not represented here, but I can authoritatively hold his brief as a majority leader. And so we would like to get, all I would ask the chairperson on this committee is for a right of reply. Not now, because issues have been raised, issues that I might need to prepare and research and internalize, and make sure you communicate to me in time, not on time, in time, so that I can get time to prepare for myself. I actually do not have much to say, and I cannot respond now. Yeah.
But he's with us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Maybe basically you've said it. There were, from the media, there were so many chaos, we see the fights and all that. And I thought with that, then Nairobians are not getting service. And so I came up with a statement as a Senate being a big brother to the Assembly. Then we talk to the leadership. The majority leader, the minority leader, majority leader is the one who comes from my party, then the Speaker, the clerk, so that we get to know exactly what is happening. The sessions are not going on, there are tear gas, kuna watu wameenda na mabavu, wengine wanatoa wengine kwa ofisi, and all that is happening. So I thought it's good we have a session like this where we talk to the leadership of the county and see, as a big brother, how do we come in? How do we bring sanity in the county of Nairobi so that the Nairobians can continue enjoying the services from the county?
So what we need to do, members, we have heard you. There are some documents we have asked. We did ask the Speaker. She said she will table to our committee.
Yes.
Guyo said, majority leader said he will table. If any document, we'll still call you. We are not going anywhere. This is our country. This is our county. Prepare kabisa. We are going to invite you. You tell us what you think. Guyo, we are going to invite you. If a time comes, if a time comes where the way you said, if the correct procedure is followed, you can support him. Or if he thinks you are the better person, he can still support you. Hii nchi ni yetu. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you.
For my clarity, I've not seen interest. Members were busy waiting for another statement.
Like,
they did not talk about it. To contribute to the statement. That's what it meant.
So don't worry.
Yes. That's what they meant.
Yes.
Sonko will not allow solution because he will be the one in the receiving end when the solution comes. So he will not be party to that solution.
So you want the president to intervene?
Yeah. Even I know this Senate cannot do that because he will not listen to Senate. Senate cannot push him to bring deputy governor. And we have a law which are stuck. I don't know if it is in Senate.
No, we have. It has been ascended. It's an act now.
It's an act.
Yes.
Then we will do our work.
Yes.
Then as I come to the assembly, we
Yes.
will do our work to make sure that he has appointed the deputy governor.
Yes.
We will do that.
So if deputy governor is there, things are better in Nairobi.
Yeah.
But we're asking the president to intervene.
To make sure that we have a deputy governor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he's coming from Jubilee what?
Yeah.
Jubilee party.
Not just a deputy governor.
But I want to assure you, Senate does not fear Mike Mbuvi Sonko. You can be sure of that.
We will see.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a law now as we speak. There's a law that
Is the trips, foreign trips which comes with the committee.
Okay.
That's an agreement between the committee member and the chair there.
Yeah, just
Yes, it's just like us.
Nobody interferes there. There is another direct letters which comes to the speaker and the speaker's forward to the leadership. Myself, I have never dealt with it. I usually take it to the whip. I have never dealt with any trips. The whip is the one who does that. This issue of trips has been brought about by LH. Nobody else is talking about it. Trips there. That is something which actually talks day in, day out. And I don't think going to foreign trips, there is anything in that. There is nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
It is within the rights of the county assembly members to go. The way the Senate does, the way the National Assembly does. There is nothing criminal about that.
No, it was not
But
about
they're
criminal.
saying it's
It's a
favoritism.
favoritism.
There is nothing like
Whereby
favoritism there.
whereby majority,
Yeah.
you realize, like, for example, if it's here, it's only Senator Millicent Omanga, who most of her...
No, the substantive majority of Nairobi County Assembly.
let's continue.
I also want to say that this has not been this.
Chair, can you protect me from you, member? Please. I know.
I also have one thing to say, and I hope that even when as we have been given time to and the right of reply, but I will also be given a right of reply. But my one thing is that let us not forget that we have all been in that county for 2 years. So while we are sending blame game to each other, I would like this honorable committee to ask, where were we in those 2 years?
Yes,
Why now?
Yes,
Thank you. And I send this on. Why now? Thank you.
offices, maybe it's misused into certain
The revenue account.
accounts before it gets there.
Or is it a design, because we had issue of Jambo issue, or is the way collecting revenue has been designed to ensure that it is lost in the process of revenue? And maybe on that, you have been a leader for some time now in Nairobi City County since the beginning of this devolution. Can you maybe give us a projection, if we have all systems which are efficient, effective, how much can Nairobi City County government collect in a financial year, according to your own estimates?
Mr. Chair.
Try and stop. You have been talking passionately that the Nairobians are losing billions of shillings through extortion, through corruption. What measures can you say today as a leader of majority that you have done as a house to intervene some of these? Maybe you can give us an example. If there are more, you can submit with the committee through a written submission. Maybe you can just highlight, say, when I was a leader of majority, we stopped this, we intervened this until the loss of money by Nairobi taxpayers was stopped. And maybe at that point you can also add, personally or as your office, have you engaged with investigation agencies like DCI and EFCC?
And there is...
By the governor?
There was no, it was just a Facebook thing.
No, I might be wrong.
No, and unless that you know you bring a letter which has been received.
My name is Sonko.
Honorable Chua, I'm sorry for that. And unless Honorable Chua here brings a letter from governor which has been received in the assembly.
Yeah, because you are the leader of government
There was
business.
none whatsoever.
So you can confirm.
Yeah, there was none whatsoever.
Because he has been a leader of government.
It was just a Facebook thing,
And
yeah.
I would not like to work with you.
Yes.
But you are aware there was a letter to appoint Miguna.
No. Why you throw? We have
The process that you have through Public Accounts Committee or as a house stop some of the loss of the money of Nairobi, since you have said like for example on the issue of approvals, have you stated on the floor of the house the importance that planning department should be up and running, the issue of Jumbo Pay. What have you done? What interventions did you put as a house to stop some of these laws? Because it's a lot of money.
The Public Accounts Committee.
Conclude. One, you are saying if the problems that are in county assembly and county executive, the person who to bring solution is Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko.
No, he can't.
No, I'm just asking because we are trying to bring sanity. Are you saying if Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko, the problems of tear gas, shooting, removal of leadership in county assembly
Is the cause of the problem.
is the cause? So if he
But
decides to stop,
it cannot be a solution.
so what is the solution going forward?
What I'm saying, Senator,
Yes,
the termination of Jumbo system.
Jumbo system.
That's the reason why the new system was brought in. But now it is much more worse than Jumbo. And I think now Park is dealing with it.
Okay.
The issue of...
just hold
yeah.
as you proceed. There are members who have just come. Kindly can introduce yourself so that we can know who are in the house.
Thank you. My name is Charles Moore.
I want to say this. We had a clear way of asking questions, and Guyo had finished question 1
And
he had finished 2. So I wanted him to finish 3 so that we don't.
We open for other
we open
members.
for other people so that we don't.
That's what
We don't want to do this. I don't want to alter his trail of thought because he had moved very well. So that we finish.
No, okay. Yeah, it's
See whether she ever got something.
I think there was you can still cross-check the answer. Yeah, the clerk can still cross-check for us.
It's a house of record.
It's a house of records. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the clerk now.
Okay. Let us do this.
Governor Kahiga of Nyeri County used that decision, and the law has already been assented by the president, so it is in place.
It is not.
It is
It is in mediation.
Oh, it's in mediation. We have a problem.
We were not able to pass it through national
It is in
assembly.
mediation.